Hey guys, welcome to Backpocket Game Reviews, and today we're going to talk about my Nintendo E3 predictions. That's why I'm wearing this Luigi hat, which by the way, I was given this Luigi hat while working at GameStop by GameStop the company during the Year of Luigi event for the Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon release day. We were supposed to wear these for the week and yada yada yada. I kept it because I really like Luigi, and hopefully the Wall Street Journal doesn't see this and try to go, oh my god, he looks like a Nazi, because I could see them trying to take that out of context like that. Let's go. Nintendo E3 predictions, guys. Obviously, Nintendo has a new console out, so they have a lot of different things that could possibly happen at this year's E3. Some of these aren't going to be that much of a shocker that I'm going to state them because you've been hearing about them probably since the Switch's release, which the Switch released this year, so not that long ago you've been literally hearing people bombarding the internet with things that they want, and part of the reason why is because Nintendo is known to listen to their fans, despite their weird and very unorthodox manner, we'll say. Nintendo is very much so the Apple of the gaming industry. So let's get started here. I think that you're going to have a Metroid announcement. Obviously, that one's no shocker to anyone because that's been talked about since the Switch has been announced or possibly even rumored to come out as, oh my god, there's going to be a Metroid game. Could happen. Very well possibly could happen. And that and you know, Nintendo could really take this as a huge advantage to get a first-person shooter game on their console to help bring in a little more of that hardcore market rather than just the casual market. And I'm not saying that Breath of the Wild probably didn't do an awesome job at doing that, because Breath of the Wild almost out-Skyrim'd Skyrim, okay? That's pretty impressive, but Breath of the Wild was an awesome game. And I think that they will try to take Metroid in that same new direction where they are trying to be more aware of what's going on in the gaming industry and what it is people want while still maintaining the formula of their games, but being able to integrate some newer features that are prevalent in other gaming franchises. Breath of the Wild being literally the perfect example of that. Awesome game. Luigi's Mansion. I think we will get a new Luigi's Mansion game. Yeah. Mario! I think we will get a new Luigi's Mansion game. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon was a very good game. It was actually one of, I believe it won Mobile Game of the year it came out. However, when we compare it to the original Luigi's Mansion, so Luigi's Mansion versus Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon was very catered to a mobile set. It wasn't this huge open world environment. You kind of got everything in these little snippets that were a little easier to play on the go, which was, you know, the primary target for a 3DS game is mobile gaming experiences. So I think we will get a full console version of a Luigi's Mansion game, which would make me super excited because I still loved the original one on the GameCube probably more than any other Nintendo game. Luigi's Mansion was a great game, and it was a sleeper hit. No one really expected it to be as well received as what it was, and it was a launch title for the GameCube. Probably the most successful launch title as well. But yeah. Lord willing, fingers crossed for me, because that's what I really want, is the Luigi's Mansion game. I think we're going to get an announcement for Pokemon on the Switch. Now, when I say Pokemon on the Switch, I don't mean a brand new Pokemon game. We're either going to get like a Pokemon X, Y, Z, which I think it would be like the Z. They'll give you the souped up version. Or they'll give you like a Pokemon Stars, and which would be the Sun, Moon. Maybe it'll be like Pokemon Galaxy. I don't know. I can't guess the Pokemon naming scheme. But I think it's going to be a remake. Possibly even maybe they'll stick both games on one cartridge. Who knows? Well, let's get crazy, guys. I would like to see that, though. I think this would be a really good opportunity for them to bring over the Pokemon games. Not that they didn't sell well on the 3DS, but a lot of people who probably don't own a 3DS went out and bought a Switch. I have people that I've talked to that had no interest in the Wii U and had no interest in the 3DS, and they went out and bought a Switch just because of how innovative the actual gaming system is. I can take that thing with me. I can take a full-fledged console essentially with me, play it on my break at work if I really wanted to. Now, that would do worlds of good for Pokemon. I think we're going to get a new Wario game. I most likely think it'll be a Wario Ware title that will take innovations and capabilities and the full use of the Joy-Cons into consideration. And a part of the reason why I think it's going to be a WarioWare game is because as of right now, the only thing that really shows off the Joy-Cons or is really like a party game with those kind of mini games built into it is 1-2 Switch. And it's not that 1-2 Switch is terrible, it's just it doesn't really have the same novelty as a WarioWare game. It does feel similar to a WarioWare game, but just not as cheeky and funny, which is part of what makes the WarioWare franchise about 1,000 times more interesting than 1-2 Switch. 1-2 Switch is a lot of fun to play with the kids and the family, and I'm sure it's great fun while drinking, but WarioWare does pack a lot more of a punch, especially when you have Wario, who is a mainline character for Nintendo, as part of its integration. So, that might also just be a fever dream. I think Nintendo is going to show off the online service for the Switch. Obviously, Nintendo stated that the Switch was... They didn't state this, but it was very rushed out. So the online services as of right now are very half-baked, and they stated that they're not going to charge for it for the better part of this year. But I do think that they're going to show off what the online service is going to be capable of, what it's actually going to look like, and I think they're going to redesign the entire store on the Switch, because it's pretty crummy. It's bad. But I think you're going to see the price for it announced, and I think they're going to show off its full capabilities, and I'm pretty sure that they're either going to charge a lot less than Microsoft and Sony, so I'm thinking like a $30 or $20 a year, or I think they're going to build in free virtual console games and still charge less than them. Which brings me to my next point. I think we're going to see the virtual console and have it teased at E3. If it's not teased, I think they're going to say, available now. Which would be fantastic, because that would give you a whole back library of games to play on your Switch. And a lot of them are games you already know and would be excited about. It'd be pretty cool to be able to play a lot of different things on that Switch, especially N64 games on the go. Especially if they run smoothly, which Nintendo's emulation software tends to run extremely smooth with the N64, which is something other emulation software has a lot of issues handling. I also think you're going to see GameCube games coming over to that virtual console as well, which would be worlds of excitement, and it's something that's already kind of been talked about and somewhat teased. But I would really like to see that happen. I would really like to see that be a available now kind of moment at E3. Every E3 has like that moment, and that I think would be the best one. I would like the virtual console that way. I think you're going to see more, speaking of the online functionalities, more of the, I think they're going to have a web browser that's going to come over to the Switch, which will help with the whole, oh, you need to authenticate this Wi-Fi for when you're on public Wi-Fis or different access points. I also think you're going to see a little more of apps that are going to come around, such as like Netflix or Hulu or whatever it is Nintendo decides to bring around. That is just speculation. Maybe that stuff never comes to the Switch, which is fine. I can watch that on my normal tablet or my phone, but I don't think that they would miss out on the chance to have that, especially because if I could just move my Switch from TV to TV. Now, the Switch is at a disadvantage compared to a lot of those, because a lot of those are able to support 4K video streaming. I don't think the Switch can do that. But I think you'll see some form of apps that are going to get announced or shown off for the Switch at their E3 event. I think we're going to see more Wii U game ports. Part of the reason why I'm saying that is because the Wii U had extremely poor sales, but it had some extremely good games. Games that would have been fantastic had they had released on pretty much any other Nintendo console. I would like to see Star Fox get ported over, and I would like to see them drop that stupid motion control mandatory BS for it. I would love to have just played Star Fox, which was a very well done game, outside of those motion controls on something where I could play it more on the go. I think that was their biggest mistake with Star Fox, and obviously it had a lot of potential. I wouldn't be shocked if you saw Yoshi's Woolly World get ported over to the Switch, Super Smash Bros. Ported over to the Switch, Super Mario Maker, which has a huge online community. So many people have gotten into Super Mario Maker, and that is a lot of fun. I get they brought it over to the 3DS and the Wii U, but as of right now, the Switch is going to probably be their primary focus. I do think that you are going to see, though, a lot of those games that might not have gotten their critical acclaim that they could have gotten on the Wii U get ported over. And I think they would be stupid not to take advantage of that, especially since a lot of those games, as I said, were fantastic titles that a lot of people just didn't get to experience because they didn't have the install base hardware-wise. I can't tell you for sure what all they're going to bring about. I mean, it is Nintendo. But it'll be interesting to see. I think Nintendo is going to have probably a lot of surprises for us as well. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Maybe they'll announce a limited edition console. But I also think at E3 we're going to see the SNES Classic get teased. And they'll probably be coming out this holiday season. If not, then that could have all just been rumor and speculation, or maybe even something that they wait for the Tokyo Game Show to show off. Who knows? Nintendo sometimes does some crazy stuff, but a lot of the stuff that they do bring about is typically in their own live streams, which are called Nintendo Directs. So, but it'll be interesting to see. Guys, let me know in the description down below what it is that you think or would like to see Nintendo bring to E3 this year. And if you have any questions for me, you can also post those down there. As we all know, I am very active in the comments. But if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. You can also click the subscribe button and turn on that little bell-like thing. It should sometimes let you know when I upload a video. Sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't work very well. But guys, thanks for watching. I'll have plenty more content coming for you soon, so stick around.